Yeah, first of all, we're really excited to be here in Pittsburgh. Great first and second round at home, and then got to travel across the country and come and see these great hosts. And it'll be a great couple of games, hopefully. But again, we're just really excited to advance here to the regionals.
Coach, it's your second time being in the Sweet 16. What are the similarities between the last time you were here and also the obviously difference between now?
Yeah, well, 5 years ago, same thing. We were able to host in Pullman and advance. We got to go to Stanford at that point in time, but none of these players were on that team. They came, at least these freshmen that have been here for 5 years, came right after that. And with that group, we've only advanced to the second round, and so that was a big part of why they decided to come back, and you can ask Magda specifically, but was to advance to the Sweet 16. So just excited. Have also been there as a player and as an assistant coach. It's definitely our goal to get further than the second round, but to also keep advancing from here.
You guys were one of the few 4 seeds, or you were
the only
4 seed to advance to the Sweet 16. What does that say about the level of competition in the tournament and also your guys' resilience?
Yeah, for sure. I think this tournament has been a great one with great competition all around in those first and second rounds. And, I think this team specifically, our program, it's not just a team, it's a program built to last. We're built by design. We're built for that resiliency. We've played a lot of top 25 matches this year, really tough. We had a stretch of some losses, but I think we bounced back and really learned from all of that. So, it's a really special, program that we have.
What's the preparation going to be like coming this far and then, having the time difference and playing in the afternoon? How do you feel like you guys will be preparing for that and, just getting ready for that challenge?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think we think too much of it. Of course, we, traveled yesterday. The time change is interesting for us, but we play all of our Sunday matches at noon, typically in the Pac-12. And so, that's really 11:30 our local time. And so we'll just kind of prepare for it like one of those maybe Sunday matches, get up, get going. So I think that experience helps us to, having had played all those kind of morning, early afternoon matches as well. But yeah, we haven't really prepared specifically, just besides getting to bed early last night, right, girls? And up this morning, just trying to really get our bodies on Eastern time.
Iman or Magda or both, how do you like how you guys match up against Pitt, and what do you dislike about the matchup?
Go ahead. I think that at this point in time, we're just very excited to be kind of where we knew we belonged all along. So I don't think I think the secret is just to focus on our side, because you can only control the controllables. And at this point in time, we can just control what is on our side of the net. And obviously Pitt is a first seed, an amazing opponent to have. But I think that also speaks to the level that we belong here, and we belong to be matched up against Pitt. So I think that tomorrow we'll say everything how we match up and what our good sides are and what the pitfalls are. But we're just gonna give our all-out effort and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, like Iman said, we know that Pitt is a very physical team. They have big hitters, But I would say that Pac-12 play just prepared us for playing such teams. And I mean, also both our teams are going to be very fiery. So I think it's going to be fun to watch for all the fans in the gym and on TV. But I'm very excited for it. We're going to focus on our side, and it's all that matters.
Coach, how important is it to have a veteran-led team to get you to this point? Not obviously just for the talent, but the leadership they've shown all season.
Yeah, for sure. Having such a veteran team, it makes our job as coaches pretty easy. They know expectations. We get into a pretty easy routine as far as travel and preparation and practices, and so they already know what's going on. So really we can just jump right into things, which has really helped. And someone like Iman also being a veteran, but not having been with us for, 4 years or whatever, she was with us all spring and adapted to our style and things like that. But yeah, the leadership of this team is, top quality. Our chemistry is great. So yeah, coach's dream, we'll just say that.
Then so many ranked matches this year. I think I saw that you guys are 7-4. What do you think it is that you're able to get the right approach for those kind of matches and be resilient? When those matches go a variety of different ways.
Yeah, for sure. We scheduled preseason pretty tough. For a moment maybe like this. We were on the road at Baylor in Texas. We had BYU at home. Of course, we were at Louisville, lost to them the first weekend. But, I think that really set us up for the rigor of Pac-12 play and, win some, lose some, but just that experience you are able to build on the entire year and bounce back and things like that.
Coach, you've played some of the teams Pitt has played, obviously USC, Oregon, BYU, and Louisville. Have you taken what you've seen from the matches they played against those teams in terms of preparation for what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. I think, every coach will do that with common opponents. How did, BYU and Oregon get those wins and how did Louisville, what did we do against Louisville that, maybe Louisville turned it around and did that against Pitt. So yeah, we of course look at all of that. Coaches don't get a whole lot of sleep this time of year. So we let them sleep. We put it all out there and prepare just as much as we can. But yeah, for sure, you got to take a look at those common opponents.
How long after your Dayton-Washington State or Dayton match would you say that you watched the Pitt USC match?
Well, we started that match 7:00 Pacific time. So, and it was my birthday. So we probably not till Sunday morning is when we started that. So yeah, you get.
So on your birthday, you get a little bit.
Yeah, just well, I still don't think I got a lot of sleep. But yeah, I mean, we were able to because it was pretty late. We didn't get out of the office till probably 10:30. And so just kind of celebrate that win, let it sink in. And it was more like looking at stats, looking at, all that kind of stuff. But film started early on Sunday morning.
To either Magda or Iman, last year at Pac-12, you guys, the conference as a whole, having a huge success in the tournament. So what does that do in terms of like battle testing you where, maybe that might be different next year going forward that'll prepare you for matches like this?
Like you said, like Pac-12s, we know that Pac-12s have been pretty good at like all the time that I've been playing for WSU. Like for the past 5 years, they've been very good. Like from the top to the bottom, like you can always lose to anyone on any given day. So you gotta treat all the games the same way, and that's what we want to do in the tournament as well. Like it's just another game, Like we don't want to put an extra pressure on us or anything. We just know we have to prepare for it. Like no matter who we play, the same way, because it's in the end it's gonna be about us.
Yeah. And I think just overall, Pac-12 is a highly competitive conference, which we have seen through all the results from all the games. You had an Oregon State who was maybe not at the top of the conference, but we managed to lose against them. And now Arizona State, who's also in the Sweet 16, they also lost against Oregon State. And I think that just speaks to the high competitiveness and also to the quality of the Pac-12. And just at the end of the day, it really gives us kind of, the practice of really being dialed in, because we don't have in the Pac-12, at least, now it's over, but we didn't have the luxury to come in to any game and be like, oh, we have this, because the reality of the situation is that everything is a battle in the Pac-12. So I think that was a really good preparation for this moment, like the Sweet 16 round of the tournament, where we have an opponent that is highly competitive, high quality, and just something that we can take from the Pac-12 is being ready to go.
And they won't be here next year, so it's just on me, I guess. But going back to that, yeah, we don't know, what's going to happen as far as we know the conference is done. But as far as Washington State, just talking about, how our program is built for adversity. And so we're just going to keep doing whatever we need to do to keep winning, and whatever conference we're in. I think we belong in a Power 5 conference. We've been to the NCAA tournament 8 straight years, one of very few programs to do that. So, yeah, that's that.
We want to go to Jamie on 2. Jamie, do you have a question for us?
I do. Coach, start with you. Obviously we've seen you kind of, as you said, the 8 straight tournaments. When you kind of look back at this now, in your 5th Sweet 16, including times as an assistant as a player, what is your secret to the sustained success you've had at Washington State, not just as a head coach, but as an assistant, as a player? Because it certainly seems like every bit of success that Washington State has had in volleyball has been associated with you.
Well, first of all, thanks, Jamie. There were 4 times without me, but that was before me. So, yeah, I think as a player, obviously the coaches before me, Cindy Frederick, was building a great program, and that's why I went to Washington State and just tried to continue that as a player. And then was lucky enough to be an assistant coach with her as well, and we just kind of continued that success. But I think Washington State volleyball has always had the attitude that now the rest of our school has taken on, Cougs versus everyone. So Cougs versus everybody. So just kind of that chip on your shoulder. When we took over the program, we were 0-18 in the Pac-10 the year before. They were 0-18 in the Pac-10 the year before, and we just had to build it the right way, and we've done that, through our 5 core values and just really, trying to build it as a program through adversity and toughness and grit, and so here we are.
And for Magda and Iman, just kind of building off that, how quickly did you guys kind of understand, obviously coming at different times, but understand what the standard at Washington State is, and that, not making the tournament, or even if you've seen lately going just to the first round, that's not what the standard, that's not acceptable at Washington State. It's about getting to the Sweet 16 and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say my freshman year, we had a huge incoming freshman class, so that was the one year that no one really knew what to expect from us. We started off maybe not in the best way we would have thought, but as year by year as I've been there, the standard just kept going higher and higher because the team was getting more experienced and we were getting some great additions to the team too. So we just knew that second round's not the top that we can reach. We knew that we can go so much further, and I hope we're gonna manage to do this year.
Yeah, and as for me as a grad student, not being a part of WSU for 5 years, I think that it really, for me, while I was in the transfer portal position, what program I was gonna decide on going to really was a pivotal part of my decision, and just competing against WSU for the span of 4 years that I was at ASU kind of gave me that outside perspective on what it is to be expected from WSU and what quality WSU brings, not only to the table at Pac-12, but also in the NCAA as a whole. So I think that just gravitated me towards my ultimate decision of coming here, because I think the program just exemplifies kind of excellency, and it definitely shows a lot of resilience and grit. And I think that kind of speaks to my character as well, because it doesn't necessarily in comparison to other programs that we've seen in this Sweet 16, WSU maybe does not have the credentials of some other power programs, but WSU goes under the radar a lot, and I just hope that this year this team will have the chance to prove what we can do.
Coach, thanks, Molly, Magda.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.